Hey guys, today I want to talk about 10 things that I wish I knew before I got into music production. Now, don't get me wrong, I love music production, I love music marketing, I'm really passionate about the whole industry, but there's a bit of a unsexy side to it as well, and that's some of the things I want to talk about today. Number one, money. The music industry is a really expensive industry. You don't need that much gear to start off. You could get away with your headphones, your laptop, your DAW, aka a digital audio workstation, which is basically the software used to create music. But very quickly you're gonna progress and you're gonna start wanting to put money into things like plugins, gear, classes, music marketing, and it's going to cost you so much money. So if this is something that you have not really started and you're looking to take it on, make sure you have other additional sources of income because you will not be able to support yourself in the beginning, typically, just from doing music production. Obviously, down the line, you can start charging for your services, you can start gigging, start performing, work with a company, maybe a record label, and eventually you're going to have an income, but it's quite the path there. Number two, rejection, yeah. Something I like to tell people is that for every 100 no's you get, you might get one yes. And that could be for a collaboration, that could be sending your track out to your friends, that could be getting your followers to listen to your song, that could be pitching to a record label, that could be getting your family and friends to support you. You will be rejected a lot. So if that's not something you're ready for, I would think twice about the music industry. It's very rough, it's a very saturated market, there's so many people trying really hard, lots of talented people, lots of untalented people, and shining through it is going to cost you a lot. So something that I personally like to do is get into the habit of putting myself out there. Something I did last year was I would approach 3 strangers every single day, and I would say just about anything. Maybe I'll ask for the time, maybe I'll just say hi, maybe I'll say, hey, I'm new here, just wanted to talk to some people. And putting myself out there got me into the habit of being used to rejection, because you will get so many no's, just more than you can possibly imagine. So get into the habit of being vulnerable, putting yourself out there, and be prepared for a lot of fat no's. Number 3, and this is kind of similar to number 2, no one cares about you. Literally no one cares about you. Everyone says, oh, that guy, he's doing music production. You should get a real job. That's something you're going to hear a lot. People don't really take you seriously for the first couple of years because essentially you're just kind of tinking around with your laptop, spending hours a day with headphones on, and everyone is just like, this guy thinks he's going to make it. You will be doubted by everyone. Your parents will encourage you to do something else. Your friends will wonder what's up with you, and you're just gonna have to stick through it to get to the next stage. Thankfully, I have a very supportive group of family and friends who helped me get through this period of essentially sucking to where I am today. So you have to persevere through it. Number 4, your music will suck for a while. It takes a long time to get good at anything, especially some of the arts where it's so unclear about the right way and the wrong way to do about it. There are so many videos on YouTube, everyone telling you to do different things, a lot of contradicting information, and you're kind of uncertain because you don't know what you don't know. It's kind of like you need to climb a ladder to see what's at the next floor, but you don't even see the rung above you. You don't know how to get to where you need to be to see what you don't have. And here's a great way to look at it. I think that there's a certain gray area. You start off in any art thinking that you are amazing. You start off, you suck, you think you're great. Then your standards grow and you enter the gray area where your standards are where they should be, but you're not capable of producing to that standard. Finally, you get to the black stage where you're actually good and you know it. Something I want to hit on very quickly is the Dunning-Kruger effect. I see this so much with music producers, and we're all guilty of it. Very often you think you're good, but you're just not. And you cannot just get a laptop and say, I'm doing music production, I'm gonna be at Tomorrowland next year. Because I've had people reach out to me being like, hey, I wanna just produce a track and be at Ultra next year, hell yeah. And I'm like, no, you're gonna suck for a long time. It takes a lot of time, practice, and energy. And if you're not willing to put that in, I wouldn't recommend this industry for you. Something that happens to me a lot is someone will text me and be like, hey, I know you're a music producer in the community. I want to start music producing. Teach me how to produce. I'll pay you. Just teach me. And what I say to these people is that that's just not how it works. What you need to do is open the software. Get the software, open it, tinker with it, see what's up. And if you have a question, you can just call me up. Why did I just do that? Hello? You can just call me up, ask me your questions, and typically myself, Google, or other producers in the community will be more than happy to guide you. But you can't simply reach out to someone and be like, teach me how to do it. That's not quite the way it works. Number 5. Music production, believe it or not, can kind of take a toll on your mental health for a lot of different reasons and in a lot of different ways. It starts off with being in one place for a long time doing the same thing, and you love it and people don't really get it, and it gets complicated. The second way is online. The internet is a vast, scary, and sometimes toxic place. And don't get me wrong, the internet has treated me really well. You are watching this video on my channel right now on the internet, and you're amazing for that. You're awesome. You're epic. Thank you so much for being here. But the point is, it's so easy to compare yourself to others and get jealous and have other people get jealous of you. And sometimes it gets really, really toxic and you're uncertain who your friends are. This is something that is absolutely going to happen when you get into the producer community. So a few things are very important to keep in mind. Be integral. Be honest, be real, communicate, and don't compare yourself to others. Only compare yourself to yourself yesterday. And if you've improved, you're doing amazing. Number 7, this is my personal worst on this list. The music industry is an industry. It's a business model. And here's the problem with that. We account talent based on numbers and who can essentially bring in the most money. So when it comes to working with record labels or artists who are bigger than you, if you just want to work with people, typically what they look at is your numbers. They don't really care about your actual talent. And that makes sense. The people who are signing your songs are not musicians. They're not artists themselves. They're businessmen. And their goal is to take something that will sell. So instead of listening to your track and thinking that it's amazing, they're going to kind of get a gist of who you are as an artist and see if you're sellable, because that's how they can make the most money. When it comes to promoting your music, recently it's been such a big struggle. The issue is that the whole thing is approached as a business model. It's all about how can we bring in the most money. And you as an independent artist who might not have resources, you might not have connections, you might not even have a studio. In order to get those resources, you need a lot more than talent. As a result of this, I feel like there's just so many artists who are so incredibly talented who no one's ever heard of. And I don't think that that's how the music community, not industry, community should be like. One way to combat this is internalize support structures. This is something that I'm personally taking on myself. This means that when you have a large group of artists, we all get together to support ourselves and each other within this group of artists, so that we're not so reliant on the industry part of the business. Instead of putting a couple of dollars into promoting your song, you could put in a couple of less dollars to promoting a playlist along with 50 other artists, and then it becomes something a little bit more sellable. Another big problem with this is scammers. You will be flooded with scammers, whether it's people telling you they're going to get you streams, people telling you that they're going to get you collaborations, record deals. Everyone just wants to take advantage of you. It's going to be hard sometimes because people are tempting you with things that seem really, really good, and you end up forking over a lot of your hard-earned money to kind of buy into this dream, and more on that later. Number 8, lower your expectations like no one's business. People enter the music industry thinking, I'm going to be this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be amazing, everyone will suck up to me, and like I said before, it's brutal. Literally no one cares about you. Literally no one. And you might have some very supportive friends, and that's great, but in the grand scheme of things, you should never come in expecting to be somewhere. Obviously have goals, have long-term goals, have short-term goals. For me, I have a clipboard where I put down all of my long-term goals and all of my short-term goals. I'm gonna be doing a full video on how to organize your life and general organization as a freelancer and artist, but that video is gonna be coming out later. Back to the main point, if you have big expectations without really any realistic goals in mind, short-term and long-term, you're not really going to get anywhere and you're just going to be let down. Number 9, anyone who tries to sell you a dream is a con artist. And I've hit on this before. You're going to find these people who are going to reach out to you and say, hey, I could get you a $100,000 record deal. All you have to do is give me $100,000. And so on and so forth. There are people who are going to tell you that they're going to get you verified on Instagram. They're going to get you followers. They're going to get you streams. They're going to make you famous. They're going to get you at festivals. And this all sounds great. It's so tempting. They're waving a donut in front of your face. But anyone who guarantees any sort of result is probably a con artist, because that's just not the way the world and the internet works. For me, I also work a lot in the marketing industry, and anytime I'm trying to hire a new marketer, the first question I ask is, how many views or streams are you going to get me in this amount of time? And if they give me a number, I'll thank them for the phone call and never work with them, because anyone who can guarantee something is a con artist. That's just not the way it works. And they might have to resort to kind of back end, black hat ways of getting those streams there. And fake streams don't count. Bots don't count. Bots won't come to your show. Bots won't buy your merch. It's just not worth it as an artist. Additionally, it would suck to get blacklisted by huge platforms like Spotify for using illegitimate sources of numbers. Doing this, I've heard of everything from paying money to get a record deal, to paying to get verified on Instagram, to paying to have an automation software automatically have my posts interact with other people's posts. And what you might not realize is that corporations like Instagram and Spotify, they are way ahead of the game than you think. They know exactly what's going on, and as soon as they kind of solo out what's going on specifically, they shut it down. Number 10, and I would say that this is the most important one to know. When it comes to industries in any art, there is no clear path to stability. I know people who considered going into an art and ended up going for medicine or law, just because you can go to college, you could do a program, you could get job placement, you could get a salary. All of this is just not a thing in most art communities or most art industries, specifically in the music industry. Even if you go to school for music, you're limited in what you could do, especially that it's an art form. It's supposed to be about expression, and when it becomes salary-based, sometimes it becomes a little disingenuous. If what you're looking for is to start producing, I'll start making money from streams. I hear people say this all the time. Very often I have people reach out to me asking me about becoming a music producer, and I say, what are your financial plans? And they say to me, well, I'm gonna invest a couple of $100s here, I'll get the stuff I need, and then after that, it's basically just money from streams, right? Incorrect. You'll probably not make any money from streams for a long time, and even if you do, you're gonna have to continuously flood your money into music marketing. If what you're looking for is a clear, simple, defined, clean-cut path to security and financial stability, music industry is not the place for you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this video insightful or helpful. These are just things from my experience that I desperately wish I knew before I started. And again, don't get me wrong, I love the music industry. I do this, I absolutely love it with everything I have, and I will continue to do it. But I really wanted to put these out there just because so many people reach out to me considering to get into music or any other art industry, and these are things that I really wish I knew. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe. Not that you owe me anything. I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, don't forget to subscribe. But please subscribe. Thanks. Appreciate it. You're the best. Share it if you know anyone who's looking to get into music. And I will see you in the next one.